Mic check. Put a one in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. You can hear the sound of my voice. Let's go. Hey. 1 2 1 2. Happy Sunday. Hey. Let's get in here. Wake it up, wake it up. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, first and foremost, how's the video? How's the sound? You know, I'm at a remote location. We're not at the home station. What's up, everyone? What's going on? Hope you guys are enjoying your holiday weekend. Yes, today's Sunday. We got tomorrow is Memorial Day. And then, we getting back into the court coverage of the United States of America versus Sean Diddy Combs. Okay, let's see. First and foremost, let me do a little housekeeping. I don't know who blocked Miss Elder. Who blocked Miss Elder? But I got an email from Miss Elder, and I'm talking about one of our mods, and she sent me this email, and I just read it. But it was sent out last week. And I had an opportunity this morning to read it. I had an opportunity to do a lot of email reading, but this one in particular kind of stood out for me because it appeared that she felt like I blocked her or something. I don't know what happened, but I only saw the email today. So I sent her an email and I told her to, obviously hit me up because she's feeling a certain way. I'm like, wait a minute. A lot of you be thinking that, hey, I'm directly blocking people, and especially not my mods. I don't know what that was all about. But it touched me, because she felt a certain way, and I don't want no one to have a impression that I'm out here just targeting my mods and anything. So I don't know what happened with that. I know I didn't block anyone during this trial. And then she shared something with me that I didn't even know. She shared something with me. She was saying something that I didn't even know. So apparently, and this is secondhand, but she said that she was on a platform, Lil Woody's platform, and the arsonist, and you guys know what I'm talking about, the arsonist, the joker that didn't want to take the challenge. He didn't want to come out and take the challenge, mix it up with me a little bit. He didn't want that. So he's out here on Lil Woody's page talking about, I got the cops on him. Like, what are you talking about? Tell Lil Woody I got the cops will pull him over because of me. The guy's a freaking weirdo. See, the silverback be hanging out with some weirdos. This guy concocted a whole story saying, I got the cops on Lil Woody. That's why they pulling him over. What are you talking about? I like Lil Woody. You guys just making up anything? Because he's not in Atlanta. I guess he wants to let Woody think, oh yeah, it's the reporter got the cops on you. This joke, Woody, stay away. Get it. Listen, first and foremost, you don't need to be even talking to weirdos like this guy. Get you sent up the river. Like, this guy literally get you sent up the river because he's an entire clown, and you gotta stay sucker free. You gotta stay sucker free, Woody. If that guy's in your chat, block that clown, that arsonist. These people on the internet be doing the most. With that said, who's out here? Galatian, what's up? Good morning. Who else we got up here? Listen to me. Yes, I'm listening to you. Listen, guys, this is very important. Yesterday, in the membership section, I dropped an exclusive interview. I conducted with someone who knows Sean Diddy Combs very well, and knew him for over 30 years. And he provided me not only a perspective, but he gave me a insight into how the two came to know each other. It's a really great interview. It's so good I had to do it in 5 parts. So when you guys get an opportunity, it's in the membership section. I don't know if he's going to come to court, but he might likely come to court as a character witness for Sean Diddy Combs. It's a lot of people that may benefit from working with Mr. Combs through his various companies, but this guy was actually responsible for giving Puffy his shine in New York City. Before there was a Puffy, there was a Legendary Blue. And anyone that's from New York City, they know who Legendary Blue is. He is a legend, not just in hip hop, but in Harlem, in Brooklyn. He's that guy. He's that guy. And if you look on the picture I posted, I want to say it's in the thumbnail. You can see a picture of him and Puff at one of the first collaborations, and that's the actual photo. It's not Photoshop. It's not anything. It's a photo. It was a stage photo of Puff and Legendary for a Thanksgiving event. Puffy's pouring champagne in his gold cup, in Legendary's gold cup. You have the turkey in the background. It was just, if anyone knows about the parties of the 90s in New York City, they knew that there were only 2 of the top promoters in New York City, and the main one was Legendary Blue. For those who don't know or should know or claim they're in New York and they're from New York of the old school, they know what it really is. So you got to check the interview out. We talked about the case. We talked about the party, the freak offs. We talked about all that. We talked about stuff that you're not going to see any of the YouTubers talk about, because this guy was actually there. He was actually there. How do I know? Because I know the guy. I've known him for years. I've known him longer than I knew Puff. And we call this Diddy thing. I always call Puff Puff. I never really call him Diddy. That's where you youngins. I say you youngins, but I call him Puff. That's what I know as Puff. And they call him Puffy, because he always had his chest puffed out. That's why they call him Puffy. So I want you guys to if you get a chance, to go ahead and check out the interview. It's in the membership section. I am not going to release it to the public, not yet. We're going to drop the series in the membership section, but we're not going to put it out there for everyone, because it's such a special interview. It was done. This guy doesn't do interviews. He's not the guy he doesn't do any type of interviews. He's not on the internet. He doesn't he had to check with multiple people before he sat down with to do the interview with me. And the only reason why he did the interview with me, because he trusts me. He trusts me. He trusts that I'm not out here trying to do it for clicks and views, because if I was, I would put it would be out there for the general public. But it's just in the membership, because it's such a special interview. And because of that interview, he was reached out through me to do another national interview, and he hasn't accepted to do the interview. And when I tell you it's a big platform, it's probably one of the most respected legacy media platforms of our time, but he hasn't accepted to do the interview yet. He was just showing me some love, and I thought that was admirable because if you know anything about the cats of the the '90s, they're not so big on doing interviews, unless your name is Gene Deal, of course. Gene Deal showed up at the courthouse. He showed up at the courthouse. If you guys saw the video, the day he showed up, he was talking to me, and I asked him. I said, "Hey, are you going to be doing? Excuse me, are you going to be covering? Are you going to be Are you testifying? I just wanted to know, are you testifying? Because basically you're here, you're on social media talking about Puff. Are you testifying? That's what I wanted to know. So he said, "No, I'm just here to watch the trial." So I guess he's watching the trial for content. It's interesting. Not as a supporter, but as a content creator. It's crazy. Also, I didn't see Chopper City. Chopper said he was at the courthouse, but I didn't see Chopper City, and I was there every day since the trial started. I had to check with everyone else. He wasn't in the courtroom, so maybe he was in the overflow room, but I don't know where he was at. He wasn't in the courtroom. Any day I was there, because I every day that I wanted to go in the courtroom, I went inside the courtroom. Every day I wanted to go in the courtroom, I went inside the courtroom. There were many days that I wasn't in the courtroom because I was getting the content from the arrivals. But every day that I wanted to be in the courtroom, I was in the courtroom. It was only one day I went in the overflow room, is because I went in the afternoon. But every day I wanted to be in that courtroom, I was in that courtroom. Oh, so Chopper was there during the jury selection. Okay, that's different. I'm talking about when the trial actually started. Okay, so he was actually there. Thank you, Shaw B. Thank you. Because I didn't see him. Not to say he wasn't there, I didn't see him. But for those who don't know, it wasn't Puffy who discovered Chopper City. I think I told the story early on. I actually discovered Chopper City. I ain't mad at Puff, because it was I was just trying to put Chopper on. But I discovered Chopper City. He wasn't called Chopper City back then. But yeah, I discovered him in Baltimore. I was doing a party for DMX. And Chopper was at the hotel that I was staying in. And he was passing out his mixtape. And I listened, and then we started talking. He asked me what I was there for, etc. And I said, "Yeah, I'm here. I'm doing a party for DMX." I had to take DMX to the radio station. Shout out to Conan in Baltimore. Anybody know about Baltimore? Conan was that radio personality during that time. He may still be doing the radio, but he was definitely the station I took DMX to. And I think I even shared that photo on Twitter at some point. Thank you, Pam. Yes, the jury selection was part of the trial, Pam. Yes, I know. But I did not see Chopper. I didn't see him while I was there. But that is what it is. Shout out to the law intellect, bringing her intellectual comments to the chat. Shout out to Pammy Pam. I know I was on Pam's platform the other day. She was doing the transcript read. I wasn't trolling. I was just adding my 2 cents. It's time for the get back. But yeah, I did see Chopper. He did make a comment or two. He was on I want to say the one of those platforms. I said, "Damn, Chopper, you must have slipped past me, because I didn't see you." Oh, it may have been the last day. Shaw B, what day was it? Was it the last day of jury selection? Because that would have been a Monday. You know what, Pam. You know I am. You know I am, Pam. You know I am. No, but I wasn't that day. I was not really wasn't. It's just listen. Yo, put a one in the chat. Wait, what y'all doing? Yo, ran me out of there. Yo, ran me out of there. But I did talk. I was just on the phone with another big content creator, um, huge content creator. She's in Bahamas right now, but she said, Dennis, I will be in New York City this week. We are looking forward to the testimony of Miss Clark, Miss Capricorn Clark. I don't know what she's going to say, but if she says that, hey, I was downstairs and Puff and someone else was upstairs, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be real interesting that she comes in the courtroom and testify to that she was downstairs in the car while Puff was upstairs. And is she going to testify that she was kidnapped and brought? I don't know how that works, because if he's upstairs and you're in the car making a phone call to Kid Cudi, you could have easily left. So I don't know if that kidnapping thing is going to fly there, but I said it earlier, I still haven't seen the trafficking yet, because I looked at the indictment this morning. It said trafficking of minors. Who is the minor they're talking about? Because Cassie was not a minor. Who is the minor that they are talking about? I want to know who the minor is. We know Cassie wasn't a minor. I don't believe Gina is a minor, but is the surprise victim the minor? That's the question. The alleged accuser was a minor. I don't know who it was. Young Miami's wasn't a minor. Who do you guys think it is? We know it's not Justin Bieber, because he already came out and said none of that stuff is true. So who is it? And we know it's not the chick that tried to file a lawsuit against Jay-Z and Puff. So who's the minor? There you go, talking about little white girl he adopted. Well, look, that was a girl at a concert, at a press conference. At a press conference, he didn't adopt no white girl. Stop it. Where's the white girl at? He ain't adopt no white girl. Stop it. You're just saying anything. I don't think Young Miami is going to testify. However, there were some names that I recognize that was said by Mr. Agniflio when he was cross-examining Mr. Kaplan. There were some names that I recognized that he asked about. I'm not going to repeat their names because they're probably not, and I know them. I know at least one, two of them that he asked about. So I don't know why he did that, because he put their names out there. So I'm assuming they may come to court, at least one of them. But again, I'm still waiting for the RICO. We've seen the FRICO, but I'm waiting for the RICO. If you guys think that the government has proven their case so far, put a 1 in the chat. If you think they're far from proving their case, put a 2 in the chat, because I don't really think that we are there yet. I don't think we're there yet. I think that the jurors are being shown a lot of evidence to show the type of character Puffy is, but I'm still waiting for the meat and potatoes of this indictment to be proven. And then the defense has to obviously put their case on. If the trial is expected to last 8 weeks, will the prosecution get 2 weeks? The defense get 2 weeks for their case? Don't know. Why isn't Cassie the trafficking victim? Because she wasn't being trafficked. She's not the victim. How was she being trafficked? She was with him for 10 years as his girlfriend. She was with him as his girlfriend. Big difference. So unless there's another, you talking about victim 2? Who is victim 2? Because they've been very careful to keep victim 2 on lock. And I think we're going to hear about victim 2 this week or next week, because we had a 4-day week. So either they're going to bring victim 2 in on Friday, but we'll hear about victim 2 this week. Yeah, we keep talking about domestic violence. He's not charged with domestic violence. Yeah, but I just saw a clip of the interview that the blogger lady did, interviewing Gina, the girl that popped up. Yeah, I didn't know Puff was dating the girl. Well, we don't know what these guys. No one knows what no one's relationships are unless they put it out there. But if Gina comes in and she testifies to what she said on Tasha K's platform, the jurors are not going to like Puff at all. They're not going to like Puff because, she's said some interesting things about she was kicked in the stomach and, and stomped out, and oh my goodness. So Mr. Kaplan testified that Puff was throwing apples at Gina. Apples hurt. I don't care if they're plastic ones or the real apples. Those apples hurt. And if she comes in the courtroom and testifies to that, they're gonna. Oh my goodness! I hate to say it. These jurors are not gonna, treat this, treat him too well. I mean, this is crazy. I know, Justin. I know. What acts do you think they have proven already, Justin? Justin says, first of all, Justin, this is Mr. Byron to you, sir. It's Mr. Byron. Dennis, keep in mind, all they have to prove is 2 of the acts. Well, Mr. Shelton, tell me, what 2 of the acts have they proven already? Coercion. Okay, let's talk about coercion. Let's talk about coercion. Where has that coercion been proven with the witnesses that have testified? Forced labor. Come on, and that's a reach. What's the forced labor? The sex workers that she wanted? Are you serious? Are you literally telling me that she was forced to do a freak off with the Punisher? The Punisher said she wanted it. This is the Punisher said. The Punisher said she wanted it. And text messages that we've seen. We've seen in the text messages. She encouraged some of these freak offs. I don't think that her testimony alone has proven the prosecution's case. So I know what you guys want to happen, but the reality is, did it happen? Did it really happen? And we can talk about the mother and the money sent, the $20,000 sent, and it was sent right back. Is that really extortion? If he's saying, I want you to pay me back for the money I put into your daughter. Well, I tell you that. I'm gonna tell you why that's a problem. Look, I'm gonna tell you why I think that's a problem. Because at that point, if that was the communication, then there's a distinction between girlfriend and employee. Because if that is your girlfriend, you should not be pressing the mother for any money back because that's your girlfriend. But if you're saying that you want to be recouped from the money you put into her because she was messing around with Cudi, then you have already, by way of your actions, made a distinction between her being your girl and her being an employee. So I'm a little on the fence about that part. I'm a little on the fence about that, because as I sat back, I'm thinking like, you're asking the mama to give you 20 stacks, 20 racks, 20 grand because you want to get, although I know he didn't want the money, but her perception might have been that it was forced. It was forced. That may be the mother's perception. And I know some people saying, no. She was just doing too much. No, she wasn't doing too much. She was trying to alleviate any pressure that would have came to her daughter. That's what I think. But see, he shouldn't play those type of games because the mother don't know if you're serious or not, And then you had your whole bookkeeper provide her with transfer information. So I'm a little apprehensive about that because the mother should not have had to jump through hoops only to receive the money right back. He was playing head. It was a head game. He was playing some head games with her, I think. But head games, when you're the CEO and the top dog of your company, and this woman wanted a music career, I don't know. It's tricky. I know someone just me said he thought about it, he sent it back. He should have thought about it before he even asked for it. But me and my buddy that I interviewed, we actually go back and forth about that, like certain things, as it relates to how Puff was moving. And I agree with some of what he said, but I also say that when you hold that type of power, because it is power, Puff has a lot of power in music. We all know this. When you hold that type of power, you got to be careful how you wield it. Spitting fire. Listen, you got to hit me up, Spitting Fire. You're playing Spitting Fire. You got to hit me up. Send me a DM. I don't have your contact, but hit me up, send me your contact, and we got to talk. Because you've been missing out on that. What you've been asking for. You've been missing out. But listen, you and I got to talk. I see you. Shout out to Spitting Fire in the building. Okay, and let's talk about the car. I mean, Kid Cudi did not provide any, or anyone else for that matter, any alternative reality as to who could have did that to his car. What I want to see from the prosecution is someone come in and say they actually torched the car because Puff asked them to do it. Absent of that, I say it's weak. If they can find, I don't think Puff himself did it, but if they can produce an individual to come in and say he did it, that's a game changer. That's a game changer. Let's be honest. But if that doesn't happen, you can't accuse this guy of torturing your car. Could have been anybody. Someone said, "Who think Cassie did it?" The Galatians said, "Who thinks Cassie?" Well, I don't know. Why would Cassie do it? Because you do remember the testimony that he was heading. Wait, well, let's see. Why would Cassie do that? That's not even her. Why would she do it? I see no reason why she would do it. I wouldn't even put that on Cassie. Let's not even play those games. I wouldn't put that on Cassie. Sweet, we'll listen, Sweet. The Memorial Day weekend just started. Sweet. I'm gonna be at BAM, Brooklyn Academy of Music today. That's what I'm gonna be at today. Brooklyn Academy of Music. And then when Kid Cudi said Puff, when he went to meet Puff at the Soho House, he was standing by the glass looking like a supervillain. A supervillain. Now, hold on, I didn't even think about. Wait a minute, hold on. Anyone that comes in, Capricorn, anyone, if they come in and say that, that's a problem. But Kid Cudi thinking that Puff did it, and they don't have someone that can actually put Puff there or put someone there that was working under the interest of Puff, then it could be anybody. But this is why Capricorn's testimony on Tuesday is going to be so crucial. We're locked in. We're in the building. Don't play. Listen, you line sitters. Don't play with me. We're in the freaking building. Shout out to Amar Wiggins. He know what it is. Y'all playing around. You got to get the special pass to be here. But yeah, get your behind out of here. We ain't doing none of that. We ain't doing none of that. We hitting elbows. Listen, we ain't doing none of that. So don't even come here with that nonsense. If the Mango Girls, shout out to Rotten Mangoes, they #1 podcast on YouTube. They beat out Joe Rogan. Stephanie, what's up, Steph? I see you out there, Steph. But we're not playing with you guys. We there for a reason, not for the season. You're coming in 7, 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. I don't know what you guys doing. You guys, I'm a New Yorker. I know you're hustling, but you can't hustle. You can't hustle me. Just know you listen. Listen. I have a few little things up my sleeve. So you'll come out there with that BS. It ain't going down. Stop it. They're not going down. Listen, we can't say we don't know what Capricorn is going to. We don't know if Capricorn is going to show up. She may get cold feet. Capricorn may see all the talk about her on the internet, and she may get cold feet. So we don't know. Capricorn may say, hey, no. I'm not trying to. I ain't trying to get it. Don't know. But remember, Capricorn was Cassie's friend. That was Cassie's friend. So that was Cassie's friend. I don't know. I keep saying to Cassie, give me a reason why would Cassie torch Kid Cudi's car? The way Kid Cudi tells the story is Cassie was playing him and Puff. But Puff and Cudi pieced it out. But does that mean that he doesn't have a right to tell his story? I mean, after all, he says his dog was traumatized. I mean, if you guys, Pam read the transcript. I might read part of it, but there was a part in the transcript where Mr. Still said that, Your Honor, you're not really going to let this guy talk about his dog has been traumatized for over this period of time because of what allegedly Diddy did. Why didn't they? Well, the dog is dead now, so we can't have the dog do a lineup like smell. Who was in the house? Because sometimes dogs they'll see someone that they don't really like and they'll start barking at them. I mean, I don't think that's going to play out. I seen an old movie where they brought the dog in. The dog kind of incriminated the person that they were trying to incriminate. But I don't think it's the case. And plus, Ms. Johnson, assistant attorney, not attorney, but prosecutor Johnson, said the dog is dead. So it's a 403 argument? The dog is dead. So it's a lot, but the prosecution has to connect the dots because the dots are not connecting right now. The dots are not connecting right now. Okay, we got Kid Cudi coming in there. Yeah, he thinks that Puff, he talks to Puff on the phone. And see, here's the problem with that. He says on the phone when he calls Puff, and he says, "What you doing in my place?" And Puff could have quickly said, "I wasn't there." What are you talking about? At that point, he didn't say he wasn't there. I was waiting for Cudi to say, well, he denied he was there. No, he said, I just wanted, Cudi said he just wanted to talk to him. Puffy wanted to just talk to him. So that's a problem. I don't see why Cudi would lie on Puff. I don't see that. I don't think the jurors are going to think that Cudi's lying on Puff, that the conversation occurred, because he came back and said, they pieced it out. They met. And when he shook his hand, he looked in his eye, he said, "What about my car?" And Puff looked at him like, "What are you talking about? Did Puff think he had a wire on? What are you talking about a car for? I'm just trying to talk to you. I want to know what's the deal with you and Cassie? Because I'm hitting that and you hitting it. What are we doing here? What are we doing here?" Kid Cudi I think Kid Cudi took the meeting because he think he was going to get Puff to pay for his car. But Puff said, "Player, what are you talking about? I don't know nothing about that." And Kid Cudi may have felt like he was played at that point. Like, dude, we did this whole meeting. You done pumped me for information. I done basically told you everything me and Cassie did. Because I know how that conversation went. At least I suspect how that conversation went. The two got together, and they're comparing notes. Cudi's probably saying, "Yeah, I hit it a few times," and Sean, the freaky is probably saying, "So, how you hit it? Tell me how. Did she do this?" And probably make Cudi feel a little uncomfortable. And he just, said, "Nah, I'm good, man. Listen, I ain't got no, I'm leaving that alone. I don't want that drama." And they shook hands. And Cudi said, "Listen, I need my car fixed, man. Like, what's up with my car? How we gonna handle that?" And Puff played him like a sucker. "What are you talking about? Allegedly. What are you talking about? I don't know nothing about your damn car. Man, get your wiretap ass out of here." I'm just saying, man. Listen, I don't know. I'm just saying. Listen, I'm trying to give Puff the benefit of the doubt, but I'm gonna tell you something. This shit looking crazy, man. This shit looking crazy. Like, listen, you're out here looking like a supervillain from a Marvel. What is that show on? It's Netflix. The villain. I forgot. It was done. It was a superhero in Harlem. Someone tell me it was on Netflix. It's the superhero. He plays a superhero in Harlem. I'm gonna tell you, that was Ernie Hudson, and him and his daughters played the superhero. You know what you want talking about? Someone give me the name. It's Ernie Hudson, and it was the two daughters that was a part of they were superheroes as well. But it was this light-skinned guy with the freckles. He was the villain. I thought about him. Black Lightning. That's it. What is the light-skinned guy? Right, Luke Cage. But what is the light-skinned guy's name to play the villain? He's like he was half freckles, but he was such the villain. I said, "Oh, this guy can't stand it." What do you need to? But you know what I'm talking about. That's how Puffy allegedly was looking at the Soho House. Black Lightning. That's it. I'm sorry. Listen, I have been on Netflix. Tobias. Yeah, Puffy. Puffy, Puffy was Tobias at that moment. That's why I thought when he said that, I said, "Oh, Puffy on this Tobias now." His back turned, looking through the glass. It was a scene in Black Lightning, and I know that's what Cudi got that from. It was a scene in Black Lightning where Tobias was looking through the glass, and the person walks in. I want to say it was Ernie Hudson. So Puffy out here being Tobias. He's out here being Tobias allegedly. I'm like, what the hell going on? This trial is, when I tell you these last 2 weeks of covering this trial, it's been so much, I swear. It's been so much inside the courtroom and outside the courtroom. I mean, besides me literally running circles around some of the guys outside the courtroom, it's just funny, man. Oh my God. And the jurors, when he said that, the jurors laughed. The only one who didn't laugh was Puff. And you know, I read that as Puff didn't laugh. Everyone else laughed. There was times when Puff participated in some of the laughter in the courtroom, but this one time he didn't laugh. He didn't laugh. I'm like, damn. So I was my seat in the courtroom. I was in the middle of a row, and then I switched with Armand. I don't know why I switched with him, because when I switched with him, I couldn't see Puff's head, because I want to be able to see Puff's movements, and so I had to give up my middle seat to sit at the end so I can go outside and be able to do my reporting without disturbing the courtroom. But I said, damn, I shouldn't have gave up that seat, because I had both times I covered the trial from inside the courtroom. I was literally the row behind. We're in the media. The row I'm in is the public row, but it's a row behind the family. It's a row behind the family, which gives us a good vantage point to see Puff, because I want to see his reaction to testimony. I'm looking at the jurors, but I'm looking at him and seeing his reaction to testimony. And he was a little more animated when Cudi was testifying. A little more animated. Another laughter that came out the courtroom was when Kaplan was testifying, and he had sent Puff a message giving his condolences about Kim Porter, and he said that he invited Puff to his wedding, and Puff never responded, and they started laughing about that. So I wonder why Puff never attended the wedding. I don't know. And Kaplan testified, he didn't really want to be in the courtroom, but he was subpoenaed. I don't know if that, because what he said about Gina and how he left his employment, he loved working there, but how he left his employment, the job he really loved, he left it because he was a principled man. He didn't like what he saw was happening to Gina. I think Kaplan didn't help the defense. More so, he helped the prosecution when he told that story. You had to listen to it. See, the thing is, there's no audio coming out the courtroom, but it's audio, but it's not coming to the public. But you had to listen to the testimony and how he said it. And Cudi, I mean, Young Thug out here saying Cudi is a rat. I'm like, Young Thug, what are you talking? Young Thug, what are you talking about? I said, he's not a rat. Why would Cudi be a rat? Cudi is not even built from the cloth that Thug is built from. But Thug should not be out here on the internet calling people rats. He shouldn't be doing that. I mean, I don't know. I get it. He has First Amendment right to speak, but like, come on, yeah. Thug is doing a little too much, man. You just had a probation revocation request from the prosecution, and you're calling You in other people's cases calling the witnesses rats. You can't make this stuff up. I'm like, this is just a little too much. I get it. You know, you guys move with certain code, but some of your co-defendants done signed proffer agreements. They signed agreements. They took deals. They took plea deals. They took deals. Cudi is not a rat for one reason. He was the alleged victim of a crime. Far different than he's a co-defendant or a participant in some kind of criminal act. So when he said that, when I saw that post, I said, no, Kid Cudi is not a rat. It's not a rat. Somebody breaking your house and you call the police. What are you, a rat? If someone assault a family member of yours and you do nothing, just call the police, are you a rat? If you whip their ass and then call the police, you might be a rat. I'm not gonna, and I ain't gonna beat you behind and call the cops on you. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna call the ambulance to pick you up, but I ain't gonna call the cops. Right. Well, listen, Cudi, he just told his story. He didn't say Puffy did it. He's told the story of what led up to the incident about him being in his place. And you can think that he might have did this to you. And if you ain't got no beef with no one else, I'll just say this. He was the likely suspect. I'll say that. He was the likely suspect in Kid Cudi's mind who could have done that. Because if he had no beef with anyone else, and all of a sudden you have an issue with someone else over a woman, and then you have the woman who tells you that he has an issue with you. Well, I don't know if Cassie told him that at that time, because Cudi believed that she wasn't with Puff. Now, what she told him afterwards may be different, because in the transcript, Brian still made a motion for a mistrial because he believed that Kid Cudi was going to get on the witness stand and say that he knows Puff might be responsible for killing other people. That didn't feel good for me when Brian put that out there. Remember, once he put it out there, everyone knows that there are talks about Puffy might have had some other individuals killed. We don't know who those individuals are. Will someone come in to substantiate this? I think Brian jumped the gun there. I think he should have waited until that testimony came out, those words came out of his mouth. Then he could have objected. How do you move for a mistrial when nothing happened? I think Brian lunched on that one. He went to lunch on that one, because like, you put something out there and now people are talking about it. Jurors are not sequestered. Just think about that for a second. Jurors are not sequestered, although the judge gave the jurors instructions, but everyone's talking about the sidebar and the concerns that Brian has made towards the judge. Like, Brian, what are you doing? Brian, what are you doing? I like you, Mr. Steele, but I don't think that was a good move on your part, sir. You were trying to take a peremptory approach to a situation that may have not even happened. So you kind of fired the gun, no pun intended, and you opened a door that shouldn't have been open to the public. I'm gonna be honest with you. And you talk slick to the judge. This is not that judge you want. Listen, Brian, this ain't Judge Whitaker or Judge Glanville. You can't talk like that to this judge. This judge he's a principal man, and you ain't gonna play in his face. and you went to Fordham University, he went to Columbia University. So you're already going to bump heads because you know how, if you're from New York, if you went to Columbia and you went to Fordham University, you already know it is. One is in the Bronx and one is in Harlem. You know, and Columbia is an esteemed university. You're not going to play in this man's face. And shout out to Fordham U. Shout out to Fordham U. Webster Avenue and Fordham Road. But you ain't going to play with this judge. You can't make no demands on it. As a matter of fact, you might have pissed the judge off. You might have pissed the judge off. This is a smart, sharp. This judge is very smart. Sharp as a whip. He's sharp as a whip. He ain't missing a beat. He ain't missing a beat. But you ain't gonna play in the man's face. You ain't gonna puff your chest out with this judge because he ain't with the shenanigans. You know, when you filed your notice of appearance, you had to tell the judge what issues you had with other courts. So you know he's on your ass already. You ain't gonna bring that Judge Glanville stuff down here in these parts, country boy. You're not gonna do that. But listen, I still like Brian Still, but you better let Nicole Westmoreland step up and do these cross examinations. She is, listen, this for those who don't know, I've talked to some of the top media outlets, my colleagues. The consensus is to allow Nicole Westmoreland, the 6-man woman off the bench, to rock out. Let her rock out. I know you guys are getting you guys justify getting all this money from Puff, but let her rock out for the cross-examination. Because I've been seeing some lackluster cross-examination. But you gotta let Nicole Westmoreland rock out. Run us some more of that bread. Because your guys are not really, listen, I'm not feeling it. I'm in the room. I'm sure others are not feeling it. Some of you attorneys, I'm not going to say who's been doing it. Leo, I'm sorry. But you guys have been being redundant with your cross-examination and you're asking questions. And I ain't going to say his name, Mr. Agnifio. But how do you say to a witness on the stand that you should know the response before you ask the question? I'm going to, at the risk of asking the question, I probably should know the answer. I'm going to ask it anyway. What are we doing? We playing CeeLo? We shooting dice here? Then don't ask him the question. This is not a freaking blackjack. Or let me throw the card. Let me see what's under the card. Should I play the card? No. If you don't know what the answer's going to be, don't open the door. Don't open those type of doors. You're playing with this man's life. You're playing with this man's life. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna call it. I know you're getting the bread. You're the lead counsel, but sometimes if you're a team player, even the lead counsel, you got to fall back. Put Nicole in. She's built for this. She can connect with that jury pool. I mean, that jury. She can connect with them. Those jurors, she can connect with them. Very diverse jurors. Very diverse. Nicole was hitting all the turns, hitting each one of them. She wasn't letting Don Rashad play with her. She listen. I'm telling you, I was so pissed. So I said, wait a minute. Why is it? And Nicole better be cross-examining Capricorn. She better be cross-examining Capricorn Clark. Because you ain't gonna play with Nicole. I don't care what you prepare for. You can't prepare for a Nicole Westmoreland cross. I don't care if you're planning. Nicole Westmoreland is on you. She's on you. I've seen her in the YSL. She doesn't speak until she has to speak. And then when she speaks loud and clear. Loud and clear. She's impressive. She's a pint terror. She's a pint terror. When she's like a knife cutting through hard, like she's a knife cutting through some thick cheese. You thought you were gonna come in and play with her. She would look in your eye. I seen her style. She would look you directly in your eye. And she would make you feel like, why am I here? They didn't tell me I was going to come up against this lion. She don't give a damn. She gonna listen. She knows she's there for a job. She come in. She ain't playing with you. And I asked Nicole, y'all heard the video? I'm gonna have to play the video. I don't know if I played the video, but I'll play the video. I said, are you going to be doing more of the cross-examination? That's all I want to see. I don't want, what I don't want to see is confusion on a cross. Confusion on a cross sends a bad message to the jurors. No confusion, no ambiguity. I want to see it hit, like, you guys are getting paid over $20 million to represent this man. You got to know when to put up the star. This is not that case where you guys can all say when it's time to do your books and everything, because I know you're going to be doing books. Some of you are going to be doing books, not all of you, but you want to get that mic time. But sometimes that mic time is not the time you probably need to get the mic. A good attorney knows when to fall back and let the great attorney shine. I said good attorney. Sometimes you gotta let the person that has the ability to deliver what the client needs, you need to get that person up there. And this is not a black or white thing. This is a qualified thing. This is a qualified thing. But I wouldn't mind having Mr. Adams up there too. Oh my goodness. Listen, let's take a poll for all those that have heard about all the cross-examination. If you think Nicole Westmoreland should do the cross-examination, put a 1 in the chat. Or no, type in go Nicole. Go Nicole. Because I'm gonna screenshot it, I'm gonna send it to the lawyers. Go Nicole. Because I think at this point, her cross is so phenomenal. It's that textbook. I talked to attorney Akeisha El-Shabazz about what she thought should happen on the cross. And she predicted that when Nicole did, she predicted that would be the best strategy. She predicted this before Nicole did a cross-examination. Attorney Shabazz, in a conversation with me, predicted this is what we want to know. How many times has the prosecution met with the witnesses to prepare for testimony? We talked about this before this even happened. And sure enough, Nicole went in and did that. We want to know how much you had to prep before you gave your testimony. Because if this was such an important moment in time for you, it shouldn't be no confusion. It should be no confusion. You should be able to tell the story the same way and not exclude things from the prosecution and say it on the stand on the cross. What's that all about? And while we at it, why did you go through the side door? I just need to know something. Why did you leave through the side door? I know that a lot of you don't like Puff, and you think he's guilty. But let's call it what it is. If you would spend that kind of money, wouldn't you want to have and Puff ultimately makes the decision on his fate. And he should have the conversation with his attorneys. Why is this person doing the cross, and why can't this person do the cross? And they need to explain to him why they chose to use this person to do cross versus this person. And I know people are going to say, well, he's paying all these people, let them all get some shine. No, but If I see someone messing up in the middle of the game, I'm taking them out. I'm taking you out the game. I'm sidelining you and bringing the 6 man off the bench and let them rock until they can't. That's what I want to see. I know. Now, again, I want you guys to check out the interview I did with the legendary Blue. Great interview. And he has something to say. And he knows Puff very well. And one of the things he said that really stuck with me, he said, Puff ain't built like that. He said, Puff ain't built like that. I asked him. He don't think Puff's built like that, to be a goon. He don't think he's built like that. And he has a reason. He shared the story why he don't believe that. Why he don't believe that. This persona that Puff has with some people maybe cap. Maybe cap. Who's the second in the chair? I think it's Teeny Garagos. Someone asked who's second in the chair. I think it's Teeny Garagos. That's right, Pam. The intellect is in the building. That's right, Pam. You know what this is. This is real. Each attorney has their own skill. Westmoreland has master's cross, which is crucial to the defendant. So crucial. The cross is so, especially if, let me say this, and you probably can attest to this, but what if Mr. Combs doesn't really want to put on a defense and they've done an excellent job at cross? You're going to have to put a defense on if your cross through is not that good. You're going to have to put a defense on. You might have to take the witness stand. I think at this point, I'm thinking Puff's going to take the witness stand. Some of you think he will not. I think he's going to take the witness stand. I think he has to take the witness stand. He has to connect with that jury. He's going to take the witness stand. But if his cross is so bad with different attorneys, he's going to be forced to take the witness stand. He's going to be forced. If you have a masterful cross with each witness, then they may think about it. They may think about it. So I believe, as Pam believe, and others believe, that Nicole is that person to get the job done. I mean, listen, I'm be honest with you. I'm not happy that Garrett goes, Garrett goes is on TikTok, and Niflio got in a documentary as an attorney representing him. I don't feel comfortable about that. I don't. Because it's giving me media whore. It's giving me media whore. Only time I want to see my attorneys do some talk is in the courtroom. That's the only time I want to see you talking in the courtroom. That's what the publicist is for. I don't want to see my attorney out here getting in documentaries and I don't feel too good about that, because it's giving me you don't have my interest at heart more so than yours. Getting in front of the camera, they had to shut him down. He was doing these pressers in front of the courthouse that wasn't answering the questions that should be asked. So if you can't answer to the media the questions that we want to know, then you don't need to be in front of the microphone. There's no point at it. You see what Doug Victor did, who represents Cassie? He only came out to talk to the press after Cassie's testimony was concluded. And it was a well-written presser, not that I buy a bunch of what he was saying, But I respect that he waited until the opportune moment to do the presser. I kind of wish he would have waited until the mother came and testified. But and let's talk about the mother for a second. Miss Ventura, the mother. What you guys probably don't know, you probably didn't see, is when the mother finished her testimony. First of all, when she walked in, I could show some demonstrous videos that I shot. But when she walked in, she wasn't dressed the way she walked out. So it kind of threw a lot of the press off. But she was walking down the street, and as I was rushing to get a good position to get the shot, which I got the shot. I'll tell you guys how I did the shot too. You're probably gonna say, Mr. Barr, you should have did that to her. But hey, she wasn't reacting. So I had to get her to react. Cassie's attorney was literally on the corner doing the interview as the mother was heading to the FBI building at 26 Federal Plaza. So that walk you saw her doing, she was heading to the FBI building. The lawyer, I guess another lawyer who represents her, that's probably why he didn't release a statement, but he walked her to the FBI building. But before she walked inside, I hit her with the, ma'am, you dropped something. She turned around over the shoulder, turned around and looked. She's still looking, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm joking. You didn't really drop nothing. She kept looking for it. I'm like, wait a minute. sorry, Cassie. I need the shot. Your mother's moving kind of quickly. I need the shot. But anyway, you know what I do. I had to, guys. So don't judge me. I had to get the shot, man. Really. Big Mike, shout out to Big Mike. Big Mike was right there. He said, "How did you do that?" Wasn't that hard? Like, I need the picture. Listen, it's a lot of competition out in New York. I'm gonna tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of competition. And I have to make sure that I get the position I need to have. I'm not standing in no holding pattern, because you can't move fluidly when you're in a holding pattern, i.e. barricades, which a lot of the media is doing that. They're in barricades waiting for them to come out. No. I bet you this week they're gonna come with the tools they need. I'm not gonna tell you what you need to bring. But you're surprised I brought this. This guy came over from Atlanta with this. Oh, heck yeah. So I know you guys can be animals out there. You're fighting, you're fighting with the crazies out there. You got a woman showing up with a wig, throwing a wig off and taking a breast out. You're doing too much. And this is happening outside the courtroom. Oh my goodness. You're doing too much. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't come to listen. This I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, this didn't happen outside. What they're doing outside in the Diddy case, they weren't doing that to R. Kelly. The most they did was play a little music, his music as the prosecutors were walking in, and I shot that video. You'll go see it on TMZ. When the prosecutors were walking into the courtroom with the U.S. Marshals, I saw an opportunity as they were playing "Step in the Name of Love." I was playing the prosecutor walking into the music. You saw the video. It's on TMZ. But they're doing a whole lot more out here in this case. When I tell you, it's just so many content creators out here, so many. Everyone's walking around with a phone from one end of Pearl Street to the other end of Pearl Street. I'm like, wait a minute. When people are walking up to me and they have the phone like this, I said, first of all, you're not recording me, right? Put your phone down if you're going to talk to me. No. I got an agent. You want to talk to me? I got an agent. You're just going to walk up. It's just weird. People will walk up to you like this and they start talking to you, and you got to look at their hands first and make sure they're not recording you. I was getting on Silverback. Excuse me. I don't want to call Silverback. The infamous for doing that. And everyone's doing it. I think maybe they picked up what she was doing. They probably saw her doing it and they start picking it up. They said, wait, she doing it. Maybe we can do it. I don't know. But it's just like, don't walk up to me with no camera on. I know what you said. You're Mr. Byron. You're media. You should expect. No. Not if you're cosplaying as a member of the press Don't walk up to another reporter recording them without their knowledge. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's called having professional courtesy to your colleague. Don't start walking up to people with camera in their face. They got, and I said this early on, they have to report to their bosses. They can't be doing interviews and getting on camera with you when they're under contract with other people. And you guys don't realize this. Most of these correspondents are under contract. They can't just be sitting there doing interviews with randoms when they're under contract. They're paying X amount of dollars to these people so they can get the story. Now, you want to ask them about the story when they have a channel they got to report to or a network they have to report. This is ridiculous. I just understand how people be moving. It's like, hello, you're sitting there recording the content creator. She's doing her live. You're recording her, but you're not really getting your content. Hello. It's incredible. You sit here and watch. It's just incredible. People just doing the most. I'm literally seeing like 9 people. And I'm not, listen, I'm not, it's not about hate. I'm just saying, but if you're out here to try to record get the news, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Hey, you'll do you. I'm just I sit there, I'll be smiling. I say, okay, you're over here. Right now I'm over here doing exclusives over here. Get the exclusives. Get the exclusives. Hey, listen. You know, I have a bunch of, listen, I'm old school. I get the shot now. I get the shot. I've done it. I had a few little, I know I get the shot. If there's a shot to be had, I'm going to get that shot. How about that? Oh, man. It's just, and you'll see, I don't have to say, I don't have to say much. Just listen. I talked to another good friend, and she made a point. You got to do a course analysis to make sure you're here for the right reason. You got to figure that part out. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Spitting fire. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. What you said, spitting fire? I've seen some content creators that might hook up good-looking couple. Do tell me who that is. Who that is. Who that is. Who that is. Because I ain't hooking up with anybody out here. I ain't hooking up with nobody. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. Yo, don't play with me. Yo, stop. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not gonna comment on that. Don't do that. I saw what you just did. For those who are watching on Twitter, there's some comments coming in on YouTube. I'm just letting you. I'm cautioning you. Don't do that. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Oh, hold on. Oh, Tisa, listen. Hold on. This is what Tisa tell. Tisa. Listen, Tisa. Listen. This is the issue I got you. Tisa, this is what the issue I got with you. You hiring these guys to do your security when your security has been around you and you didn't even know it. You got a trained expert around you, and you hiring these. I ain't gonna. You hiring these steroid guys. You hiring steroid guys when you got someone very fluid around you. I see what you're doing. Tisa got bodyguards, and she got a bodyguard around her. They try to play her on the line. I said, wait, hold on, player. No. We're not doing that. I had your back. We're not doing that. Get this joker out of here. Yeah, Tisa, you don't need bodyguard. First of all, you're in the building with U.S. Marshals. Ain't nobody gonna mess with you in the building. No one's messing you in the building, and no one's gonna mess with you outside. I don't know who issue you a threat, but no one's messing with you. You got Big Papa out here. Yo, listen. Did y'all see the way Gene Dill looked at Tisa Towles when she was saying, "Can I get exclusive?" He was looking at her like she was a snack. I saw it. Your guy saw it. Gene Deal was looking at Tisa like she was a snack. He was looking at. I like Gene. She asked you a question, man. When are you gonna give it exclusive? And y'all saw it. And am I lying? Yo, Gene Deal was looking at Tisa Tells like she was a snack. Oh my goodness! But listen, I know who's coming out this week. You'll think Tisa's a baddie. Wait till you see who's coming out this week as a content creator. Tisa, you gonna have to step your game up. Somebody coming up, pulling up on you, Tisa. They see what you're doing. They coming up. I ain't gonna say who their name is, but they coming. They coming. Woo! This is going. Listen, this week, ladies and gentlemen, it's going down. I already listen. I got the intel. I already know they done called me, tell me I'm pulling up. She ain't getting all that bread, and I'm getting my channel up. And I'm gonna tell you, she a baddie too now. See, I'm gonna be all week. I'm gonna be into the verdict comes in. So don't play. Yeah, Tease, you spend all that, but listen, I don't know what they charging you, but I got a deal. I got a deal. And they listen, and they already know about me. So like, you ain't gotta do that. Nobody gonna mess with you. You good. Ain't no one gonna mess with you. Although I saw somebody getting loud and everything, but they ain't gonna listen. All that they just doing that. You know, they got some. They ain't gonna mess with you, Teaser. Yo, Lonnie, I can't listen. I'm not gonna listen. I'll say this. She's an attorney. I'll just say that. I'm just gonna say that. I ain't gonna say no more. But she pulling up this week. She pulling up. It's going down. When she gonna walk in. I'm gonna play this when she come in. She gonna pull up on you. Listen, Spitfire, stop it. You talking about no married woman? I ain't talking about no married woman. Wah, 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 wah. I'm talking. Listen. Bad. Listen, I can't tell you. But when she walk in, it's going down. She's gonna be coming in. I'm like, oh, hey, who play? Wait, hold on. What y'all got going on over there? No, we talking about. We ain't talking about. We talking about the. I want to tell you the name, but I promise I wouldn't blow a spot up. She's gonna walk in there. If you're there on Tuesday, and you hear this sound, you know she's here. So this is for all those who are gonna be. As soon as you hear the sound, turn around. She's pulling up. I think we're gonna have a few pull-ups this week. Y'all didn't wait. Hold on. You didn't hear the music. You didn't hear it. Put a 1 in chat. You heard the music. Because I don't know if you hear my sound. Put a 1 in the chat if you heard the music. Because if you didn't hear the music, you didn't hear the music. Oh, you mean tell me I'm jamming? Wait, hold up. I'm jamming. You can't hear the music. That's crazy. What the heck? Wait a minute. I don't like that. Hold on. You didn't hear the music? Oh man. Oh, okay. That's crazy. You didn't hear the music. So I gotta check this out. You didn't hear the music? Okay. It was low. Wow. Okay. That's crazy. We gotta fix that because you're supposed to hear that music because this is her theme music. Wow. Hold on a second here. You didn't hear none of this sound? No, Miss HLS. I didn't do it on purpose. No, listen. I gotta play this. Listen, I gotta do it. I'm gonna do it. Come back and do a test because you should have heard the music. That's the music I'm playing when she walk up. Listen, I already have the music queued up. When she walk up, it's going down. Oh no, I'm literally listening to the music. You guys. Oh my god. Oh no. Hold on a second. Let me check something out here. Hold on. You couldn't hear the music? That sucks. Let's see what's going on with this sound card. You didn't hear the music? Hold on a second here. That's crazy. You didn't hear the music. Let's see. Testing. Hold on a second. Oh, you can hear my mic. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. 1, 2. Oh, you know something? You can't hear it because I'm looking at it now. Oh, that's okay. Hold on. Let's see something here. Hold on. Let's see. You can't hear it. You can't hear that. Hold on. Let's see if it did. I'm gonna see that moving. Let's see here. That's wild. What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, I don't see that there. That sucks. You tell you're not hearing what I'm hearing? That's crazy. So when were you gonna tell me that you didn't hear the music? Like, are you really gonna do me that way? You don't hear the music? I'm here jamming. Okay. I might have to update the driver because you gotta be hearing the music. Goodness. Okay, let's see here. We'll try something else here. Yeah, my output. Yeah, you're not hearing my output because I don't see the speaker moving. Don't. Nope. All right, Shorty Red. I'm gonna have to call you up, Shorty Red, because they don't hear the music. Yeah, we're gonna have to fix that. I tell you, man. So we thought you were protecting your channel. Nah, I got this music I need to play. What? Wait a minute. It's still low. Well, how is my microphone? Is my microphone low as well? Is that low? Hmm. Is the microphone low? Because the sound's coming good in my ear. Oh, you want me to sing the lyrics? Well, first of all, if my microphone's low, it's not gonna. My mic is perfect, but you can't hear the music. That's diabolical. That is diabolical. Mic is perfect, but the music not. So let me see here. That's crazy. Hold on. Okay. You should be able to hear all that. Let me see if you can hear that. Did you hear that? Yes or no? I don't know if this is the opportune time to do a sound check. Mic is perfect, but you can't hear the music. That sucks. You'll hear me, but you don't hear the music. See me tell me I came in with my intro music. You didn't hear that? I know you heard me, but can you hear the music? I mean, I spend a lot for the soundboard. Just dance. I can do the dance. Okay. Okay. All right. It's still too low. I got to fix that. It's probably something I got to do. I probably have to update the driver. I guess this is a good time for me to I bid you guys a farewell until my next live. My next live will be. I don't know if I should release it. No, we're gonna keep that in the membership section. The interview with legendary Blue, Diddy's longtime friend. A great interview. I really enjoyed talking to this guy, and he has a lot to say. No, the fact that you heard a little noise is not a good sign. So we're gonna fix that. I may come back live probably in the next 30 minutes once I fix it. I know you hear that siren in the background. I'm in Brooklyn. I'm in Brooklyn. Boop 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 boop. Brooklyn. I'm in Brooklyn, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I'm in Brooklyn. You heard that with my tie. You heard the yeah. I'll tell you something. I didn't hear so many ambulances since I've been here. There's so many ambulances going back and forth. Let's see the sound on the video. I'm gonna go into my membership section, ladies and gentlemen, for my members, and we're gonna do a sound check. I'm not gonna uh, do it right here because I know you guys gonna probably say this. We don't need to hit a sound check. Just get your itch together and come back. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you. I really do. I'll see you on the next live. Make sure you turn your notifications on. If you're on Twitter, make sure you follow me on YouTube because on Tuesday it's going down. Capricorn Clark is expected to be the next witness to testify, or I think they're gonna have a few. As a matter of fact, I'll have the witness list shortly. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys in my next live. I appreciate you for coming in and make sure. Oh, wait, hold on. Before I leave, hold on a second here. Before I leave, hold on. Let me shout out. How is the Atlanta Lawyers doing? They're doing decent, Miss. Let me put that there. Decent. Like I said, Miss Westmoreland should be doing more of the cross examination. Brian Still's, doing decent, but he kind of played himself with the judge last week. I hope the judge is okay with that. The judge probably went home and said, "Who's this guy? You think he is? I'm not Judge Glanville. Don't play with me." Not that Mr. Still was playing with Judge Glanville. I think Glanville was playing with Attorney Still, but. Yeah, this is this is New Yorkers. We're New Yorkers. We ain't just taking anything you say. What was the words that he used? I got to get the transcript, but he used some particular words towards the judge, like he almost insisted, Judge. I insist. I'm going to demand you. I'm going to require you to. I'm going to need you to. The judge said, "Wait, hold on, Playboy. We're not doing that over here. We're not playing those kind of games over here. This is New York City. And I take the train in. I don't have private bodyguards. I'm about that life. I'm a backpack judge. And you can get it." Well, he didn't say all that, but he did basically let him know, don't be playing with me. Don't be playing with me. You come over here, come on over here in these parts, and we're going to handle you. You're not none of that what you was doing in, there ain't no strike force here in New York. We got a strike force, and they're the marshals. And none of Miss Merchant ain't going to save you. Mr. Wolf is not going to save you. The strike force is not going to save you here in New York. You are a guppy in a pond of sharks. You're a guppy in a pond of fish tank of sharks. And I'm the leader of that pack. So you calm down. You know where you at. I mean, this courtroom, I'm gonna tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. This courtroom is scary. Courtroom, the judge is sitting elevated. It's like he's almost in the air. I'm like, this judge, I can't even see him. Plus, he's short. So it's like you got to stand up to see the judge. They need to give him a high seat, ladies and gentlemen. That judge needs a high. No, Judge, I don't really mean that. You're a good man. Shout out to Galatians. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Galatians. Yes. Let me tell you something, guys. I got to share this. And I love my people, but you're doing too much. I love my people, but you're doing too much. So in the neighborhood that I'm in close to, there is a let's just say a smoker where they're cooking food like jerk chicken. Like, Brooklyn, you get all the Jamaican food. Now, chicken's good and everything, but tell me, why does it cost $34 for a whole chicken? They're charging $34 for a whole chicken. I'm like, what are you talking about? They charge $34 for a whole chicken. I'm like, I'm not paying $34 for a whole chicken. First, I can't eat a whole chicken. But $34, what are you doing to the chicken? $34 for chicken. When I can go right down to BJ's or and get a $4.99 chicken. I didn't delete mods. I don't know who did that, but I'm going to check that too. I want to make sure no one's deleted. I'm going to check that. I got to do a sweep because sometimes my mods be just putting people in timeout and then deleting them because they I don't know. Now let me ask you a question. No, I'll go check. I'll go check because we'll talk. We'll talk offline. We won't ask you a question right now. But so to answer your question, the lawyers are doing good. The Atlanta attorney's doing good. Puff don't need another attorney. I think he's at 11 now, 10 or 11 right now. He got a lot of attorneys. But we'll see how this week goes because we're not there yet. We're not there yet. I appreciate you too, Miss HLS. Thank you. I appreciate you, Miss HLS. Yeah, well, we're not there yet. We have hold on a second here. You said Lonnie. How you get up here? Lonnie said, I timed you out by accident. Girl, that was no accident. I don't know what you was doing. I timed you out because I didn't. I don't know. No, I'm just joking. While I'm out there, I'm not timing anyone out. I'm just telling you, I ain't time no one out. I let the mods take you. If you're a troll, they're gonna take you out. They're gonna take you out. They're not gonna play with you. They know. Listen, I got a job to do. You're playing with me. You're playing with me. Yo, let me ask you a question. Do you think Tisa Tell sat in front of my camera to do a live that day? Because I got the phone calls. I didn't even look at the video, but just said she was showing some things. She probably didn't even know she was showing some things. But yo, hit me up. Yo, she's in front of the camera. I'm gonna tell Tisa next week. Tisa, listen, I have a hot mic, cameras pointing to the doors, and you're sitting there in front with your skirt flying. We can't do that, Tisa. We ain't doing that. You know what kind of trial this is. No, we ain't doing that. I know it's probably an accident. I didn't know. Because my camera was there already. She sat right behind it. She was sitting there. Oh my, no, she didn't. Someone said no, she did. I said, oh yeah. But I don't know if she knew. But I'll let her know, hey, calm down, play girl, calm down. Calm down. Calm down. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you. I really do. I'll see you guys on the next live. Make sure your notifications are on. And I'll see you when I get back. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.